Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Christine O'Connor. I'm an analyst in the Office of House Policy for House Speaker K. Joseph Shekarchi. As you are aware, you have been appointed to serve on this House Commission at the behest of the Rhode Island General Assembly. I would like to begin by confirming that you are here voluntarily, without compensation of any kind, of your own free will, and have agreed to serve on this commission in order to carry out the purpose of House Bill 2023-6342, which is to find solutions for proper forest management for fire prevention in Rhode Island. The commission is expected to report back to the House of Representatives on or before February 28th, 2024, and whose life will expire on April 30th, 2024. So please signify such confirmation by saying aye or yes, or acknowledging that you understand that that is how you are appointed here to serve. Everyone, thank you, thank you. And so the first order of business now will be the nomination and election of the chair. As such, I will entertain a motion to nominate the chair for the commission. Do I hear a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Rep. Carter as chair.
I will second.
Thank you. All in favor? Any nays? Okay, Representative Megan Carter is elected chair. So I will now turn the meeting over to the newly elected chair, who will attend to the remaining agenda items.
Thank you very much. Next, if we could all just take a moment and introduce ourselves so that we all feel a little more comfortable here. My name is Megan Cotter. I'm the state representative for District 39, Exeter, Richmond, and Hopkinton. Outside of my role, I'm also the director of business development and category management for a company called Foley's Fish. And that's pretty much me in a nutshell. So, TJ, would you?
Hi, everybody. TJ Boudreau. I'm the Deputy Chief of the Division of Forestry at DEM. So, thank you.
I'm Tom Guthlang, Deputy Director of Rhode Island Emergency Management, representing Director Pappas today.
I'm in the cat. I'm a firefighter, and I'm a vice president of RISAF, Rhode Island State Association of Firefighters.
I'm Scott Millar. I'm representing the Rhode Island Forest Conservation Commission. I'm also a member of Grow Smart Rhode Island.
Good afternoon. My name is Richard Susie. I'm the Executive Director of the Rhode Island Association of Fire Chiefs. I'm here representing Chief Scott Cattell, who is the President of the Rhode Island Association of Fire Chiefs.
Hello. I'm also a landowner, and speaking the game from that regard.
Thank you, everyone. And just so you know, if you push the little red button and it's up, that means your microphone is on. It's kind of weird. It's not down and up. It takes some time to get used to, for sure. Thank you all for introducing yourselves. Thank you all for agreeing to be on this commission. We're very fortunate to have all of your voices here. The next item on the agenda is to discuss the resolution that created this commission, whose purpose is to find the solutions for proper forest management for fire prevention in Rhode Island. This year we saw brush fires break out in many corners of Rhode Island. Therefore, this commission is going to look at ways to improve forest management and prevent forest fires. I'd like to open it up to all the commission members. If anyone would like to touch upon additional elements of the forest management that this commission should study, it's really important. Please don't feel like I'm putting you on the spot, but your voices are super important, and I'd like to open it up.
Since I'm representing Chief Cattell today, I'm sure that he would want to mention that obviously just in the past few months, I believe it was May or I'm not absolutely positive, but there were at least 3 good size, we'll call them forest fires in Rhode Island. So You know, I was just talking with my neighbor here, Mr. Fortune, who's, you know, we were just saying, it obviously does happen in Rhode Island. For anybody that thinks it doesn't happen and that we don't need to manage our forestry areas, we do have fires, and we do need to pay attention to it. And I know that Chief Cattell played a big role in that big Exeter fire this year, and that's why he wanted to make sure he was a part of this.
Conservatives organization led a walk at one of the big fires in Exeter a few months ago, and we had a lot of voices from firefighters, from landowners, from DEM, from the federal government, and we realized that it's not a very simple one-dimensional problem. It's multifaceted, so there's a lot of things that need to be looked at here, and I imagine that we'll get to that, so I just wanted to acknowledge that.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for everyone else as well, as Rep. Carter said, for being on this commission. I know DEM obviously plays a major role in this, and I think through this it's going to be a good opportunity for us to discuss what we do in DEM and forestry as it relates to fire management, wildfire management, as well as overall forest health and forest management, but then also work with you all to come up with ways to help solidify those programs and to make them better and to come up with solutions that can help DEM and the state deal with these issues. Like everyone said, this year was an eye-opening year for us that we are not immune to fires that happen out west or the rest of New England and Canada. So it's very important that we're here and very happy to take part in the work that we're doing. So thank you.
I just want to echo what Chief Souza said. I was involved with both of the fires this year, and on the emergency management side, our job is to manage a large incident, and we had over 41 different fire departments from outside the state of Rhode Island come in and assist us. So any preventative maintenance, any preventative actions that we can take working as a group on this commission would first off hinder that, but we also need to keep training in that area so that we are prepared if something that big. Without all those different fire companies, we could have had loss of life and property, and we don't want that in Rhode Island. So we want to make sure that we take all the precautionary measures, and we also want to protect our firefighters and train them the best we can. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'd also like to echo that, because we all know how fast forest fires can become structure fires and other stuff burning besides the forest fires, and the health and safety of the firemen out there is also important, because you're geared a little bit differently when you're fighting forest fires, so it can be very important.
I'd like to commend Representative Carter for sponsoring this resolution to create this commission. As a member of the Rhode Island Forest Conservation Commission, our mission by statute is to conserve forest. Obviously, wildfires would be a significant threat to forests. I'm also a forest landowner, so I'm well aware of the threat every day to the forest that I love and enjoy.
Thank you, Representative Cotter, for including us in this. The Nature Conservancy is maybe the largest non-government landowner in the state. We own and manage about 15,000 acres, and we've partnered in the conservation of about 35,000 acres across the state, working closely with DEM and town of West Greenwich and other municipal partners. So we have a very strong interest in this, both in terms of proper prevention, management, and understanding the factors that contribute to risk and response. We also, I'm not the most knowledgeable person on the staff at the Nature Conservancy on these matters, and so I want to make available resources that we have, folks who've helped a lot with spatial mapping and identification of resources to contribute to the contingency plan of the state and the cooperating agencies on this, and I think we can be helpful.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you again for being here. So for our next meeting, I was thinking that we ask for a presentation from DEM, to add a little bit more to TJ's plate. Just what the process is right now when a forest fire or a brush fire happens. And I think it's also important that we explore what kind of resources are available as far as education for large landowners, and, you know, where do we draw the line? How large of a landowner? I'm just curious what's available. And then the other presentation that I would like to see, I know Chief Cattell is not here, but just kind of an overview of some of the lessons learned from the fires that we saw. I know I was at the debrief for the Exeter fire, and for me, it was very eye-opening, and I think it might be helpful for the whole commission to hear some of the challenges that are there and some of the resources that we need to be putting into our fire departments so that they are more equipped to handle the fire and it's less dangerous for those brave men and women. Does anybody else have any suggestions of any other reports or input that you'd like to see at the next meeting?
I'll make sure that Chief Cattell gets the word and has something prepared.
Thank you.
To suggest that maybe we be thinking about some of the other aspects I referred to earlier instead of putting them off too long. One of the things, as I mentioned, we had this walk of the fire in Exeter, and we discussed programs that the federal government, NRCS, offers landowners for fire risk reduction. And that would be something that would be nice to make people aware of, because half the problem is not just, putting out a fire, it's doing things ahead of time to, deal with the fire before it starts. And that's, even prevention is, more important than actually dealing with the fire once it starts, even though that's, huge importance also. And also, there's a component of outreach to the public that we should be thinking about, so landowners, know what they could be doing, what programs are available to help them, doing management on their property to actually reduce that risk. So instead of just focusing on it just from the firefighting, response, angle, maybe we could also be including some of those discussions instead of waiting too long on them.
I agree. Who do you suggest for that? Is that DEM? Okay, so we'll add that to TJ's list. Anyone else have any suggestions for the next meeting?
Yeah, I was going to add to that too. I think Bill touched on a lot of it, but I can either do it at that meeting or kind of prep for the following meeting, the items that Bill was talking about that DEM does for forest management, not only on its lands, but work that we do with landowners and kind of the assistance and outreach that we have for programs that are available to forest landowners, so that we kind of have that growing list of work that already gets accomplished that might not be known by everybody in the state.
I think that's really important. If you could have that ready for next meeting, that'd be fabulous. I think the sooner we start discussing that, the better off we are, because I believe that's incredibly important. Does anybody else have anything that they'd like to contribute? So I don't want anybody to feel like they've been put on the spot. So if you think of anything between now and the next meeting or the next week or day or two, feel free to reach out. I'll make sure everyone has my email, my phone number, whatever is most comfortable for you for communication, text, call, email. It all works for me. So just to recap for our next meeting, we're going to discuss the fires, what we can do, how we can support the firemen, and also how we can prepare for the fire, obviously, and what resources are available for landowners so that we can prevent or mitigate the fire as quickly as possible. All right, so if no one else has anything, I know this is a quick meeting. We'll get into all the meat in the next meeting. So if there's nothing else, I'll make a motion for adjournment. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right.
Before you do, Madam Chair, did you
We should do that. Yes, that's a good call out. Thank you, Scott. Derek, do we have that on the calendar yet, or? Okay, so do we need to check and see when the room's available, or a room? No? Do you, does October 12th work for everyone? It's a Thursday. Figure we'll stick to the 12th.
Madam Chair, would that be at the same time?
I believe so. That works. All right, looks like we have a date for our next meeting. Will be October 12th on Thursday at 3 p.m. Let's try this again. So if anybody has anything else, all right, so is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
And a second? Thank you very much. We're adjourned. Again, I appreciate everyone's time. I really look forward to working with you all.